Smurfs and snacks, and the golden toilet is back. What a weird week.
Hi, everybody, it's Weird.
This is like crazy being here.
Weird.
Really weird tales.
Bigfoot eats out of my trash.
Well, I got a great joke for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
Hi, friends. I'm Scott, and this is What a Weird Week. It's a show where we give you 10 of the weird or odd or fun stories from the news. We do it all in about 15 minutes, and you can get all the show notes at shownotes.page, shownotes.page. Here we go. It's Friday, May 23rd, 2025.
Number 10.
All right, number 10 is the dangers of mouth taping for sleep improvement. If you haven't heard of this, I just heard of this the other day, but on a certain area of TikTok, perhaps you have seen videos where people recommend you tape your mouth before you go to bed. Now, we are not a medical podcast, and I am not a medical professional, but according to the studies, don't do it. Don't tape your mouth before you go to bed. TikTokers will say, sleep like a baby, but what the studies have found, this we'll link to the whole thing if you want to do a deep dive on the science. Generally, it helps a tiny fraction of people with a certain kind of sleep apnea. But the downside is, for many, many people, super dangerous. Bad things could happen if you tape your mouth before you go to bed. So the takeaway there, according to the study, don't tape your mouth. Also, and this one's a bit shocking, we are not supposed to get our medical advice from TikTok? What?
Number 9.
Number 9 is, trigger warning first. If you're not fond of rats, I'll tell you what, this one might make you fond of rats. The elusive New Guinea woolly rat has been photographed for the first time, and that made science headlines because researchers are so excited. And I have a theory on why. The rat was first written up or described, in 1989. I'm going to call it a giant woolly rat because it's a fair size, you guys. But anyway, 1989, no photos. And then, 30 years later, maybe researchers are like, did we imagine it? Is it real? And then they got a photo of it, and now it's been published, and science is, we knew all along. We didn't imagine this cute woolly rat, giant, enormous, terrifying, cute woolly rat. So this is in Papua New Guinea. The rat measures 2.7 feet long from nose to tail, and it's over 4 pounds. And it's a big old fuzzy rat. So you might be like, hey, rats ain't so bad. This one's fuzzy. Or you might be like, ooh, underneath that fuzz, that's a lot of rat. Anyway, my policy, if you're new to this program, I just think it's great when they discover new things, or in this case, confirm something that has never been photographed before, when we have new things to talk about. That's what it's all about, you guys. You're in an awkward situation trying to make small talk, and now you got this giant, terrifying, cute, fuzzy rat to talk about. Thank you, science.
Number 8.
All right, number 8, we're going to take a break from rats and get into some snacks. The innovative snacks that were revealed at the 2025 Sweets and Snacks Expo in Indianapolis, home of the Indy 500, which will pop up again later this episode, you guys. We have another story unrelated from the Indy 500. Right now, the Sweets and Snacks Expo. Are you like me? Were you disappointed to just learn that there was a Sweets and Snacks Expo and the invite must have gotten lost in the mail? According to Food Dive, the experts over there, some of the snacks to have on your radar are Breathe Rocks, which are popping breath mints. Also on the list, a protein bar called the Hormbles Chormbles. And there are gummies that have caffeine. They're called Focus Fuel. You know what? Why don't we stop on the caffeine gummies? Please enjoy these snacks responsibly. I'll put a link to the whole list if you click shownotes.page. Just scroll past the picture of the rat. Because, our previous story was about rats.
Number 7.
This one is an amazing food hack that I had never heard of before that is trending right now, and it is called Scrambled Cookies. So you prepare as though you're making cookies, but also with the mindset of you're making scrambled eggs, and you make those cookies scrambled. And then you eat them, I guess, as part of your complete breakfast. Delicious. Scrambled cookies. I guess I could get into more detail, but just let your mind wander on the whole concept of scrambled cookies. I think we're good. Click the thing if you want to read more. Shownotes.page.
Number 6.
This one is a serious one. Look, I don't want to make light of it there, but I could see where it made national headlines. Kindergartner brought Jello shots to school, handed them out to classmates. This happened in Pennsylvania, and I will say, first off, everybody's okay. Second off, kids, You see delicious Jello or some sort of delicious treat. You want to take that to school and hand it out to your friends. I get that, kids. But you always got to check with mom or dad or nanny or poppy, parent, legal guardian. Because it might look like delicious Jello, but that might be mommy and daddy's weekend medicine. In this case, the alcohol Jello was consumed by a few students. They were checked out by the school nurse, and then they were the article says, an abundance of caution. They were taken to the hospital and monitored for a while. Everybody's okay. The investigation continues. I don't want to make light of this, but you know what? I'm thinking if the good folks at Jello backed up a Jello truck to that school and just everybody got free Jello, non-alcoholic Jello, that would make things great. Wouldn't that make things great, maybe?
Number 5.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Olivia Jakewith.
And I'm Julia Dunn. We do have some breaking news this morning. Literally.
Yes.
Olivia's water has broke.
That's
and
right.
she is anchoring the news now in active labor.
Early labor.
We've been
Let's
doing
not
the
get carried
contract.
away.
She's now, timing her contractions.
I'm going to
and
pay
she's,
attention.
2 minutes apart?
No. There was one, but it's been a few minutes since then, so we're still in good shape.
Her decision to stay on the desk, by the way.
Look at what it says. Days past due date.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know. So we're thinking maybe
I'm
today.
happy to be here, and I'll stay on the desk for as long as I possibly can.
So that is Olivia. She is the anchor at CBS 6 Mornings, and she went into labor. I mean, that's the whole story, right? It got shared everywhere. She went into labor and continued doing the news. God bless her. We'll put a link to the whole story and you can watch the video. Click shownotes.page.
Number 4.
All right, this one has me kind of excited, you guys. I know we live in a complicated world with many terrible things happening, but once in a while you read a story that is just so silly and uplifting. And this was that story for me this week, to learn of the Weenie 500, where all the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles will race one another in advance of this weekend's Indy 500. So maybe you're in the future right now. So at time of recording, I don't know who won. Is it the Chai Dog? Is it the Slaw Dog Wienermobile? I don't know. But perhaps you're in the future as we broadcast and then, are available on demand. Get all our links for What a Weird Week at shownotes.page. Perhaps you already know the excitement and you've enjoyed the race, the Weenie 500. I don't know how fast they're going to drive, but I did look up and I read that in the 1980s, Al Unser Jr. took an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile out on the track and got it up to 110 miles an hour. At first, I was like, that seems pretty fast. They are kind of aerodynamic when you think about it, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles. I imagine Mustard was flying off the thing. You get it up past 50, Mustard's flying off. I'm pretty sure.
Number 3.
All right, we have I didn't think we'd have another update to the Golden Toilet saga. If you're unfamiliar with this one, we began the coverage when the Golden Toilet was made. Some artist made a toilet out of gold. But then also, as part of the art installment, it was a functioning toilet in this place. So you could go visit it as art, but you could also go visit it, in the washroom. And so that was the first time we covered it. And then it got stolen because it's worth like $6 million American. And then people faced charges for that. And now the latest is a fellow who has been spared jail time, was involved with trying to unload. So the burglars had a golden toilet. This fellow comes into the picture and I guess was going to help them unload the toilet. Try to get some money for that toilet. See, it was a hot toilet. They had to unload that thing. Anyway, it came out in the court proceedings that this fellow said, no, I was taken advantage of by the thieves, and now suspended sentence.
'Cause I've got a golden
Toilet.
I've got a golden...
Number 2.
Number 2 is the spoon world record, the spoon man who balanced all these spoons on himself. So he's just standing still. Someone else is actually placing all the spoons on him. 96 spoons later, this fellow has a world record. He has his shirt off, so there is partial nudity. Perhaps that is something you wanted to be alerted of before you click the video. 96 spoons, mostly around the chest and shoulder area. That's kind of it, I guess. That's the thing. We'll link to the video if you want to click shownotes.page.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. The honorable mention this week goes out to you folks who are dating. According to new research, should you be using coupons on a first date? Well, great news. The latest poll results seems to indicate yes, you can use a coupon on a first date. Not one of those free back rub coupons, but, save some money on dinner. Some of the results. 56% of Americans find using coupons on first dates acceptable. No prob. 28% consider being frugal sexy. So I'm glad that love is finding a way. Love is muscling through, even in this economy, when your first date has to be you're splitting an Egg McMuffin because you had a coupon. Still, love finds a way.
Number 1.
That was an American study, so perhaps it's different where you are. Our program goes out over the internet all over the place, so maybe where you're at, it's different. First date coupons, no way. If that's how you feel and you want to let us know, you can always get our contact info if you go to shownotes.page, or if you're listening via podcast on some of the things like iTunes, you can leave a comment or just leave a 5-star review if you want to. Save energy.
Number 1.
All right, number 1 is a happy, uplifting blue story about the Smurfs in a world record attempt. A small town in France set a Guinness World Record, getting over 3,000 people together dressed as Smurfs. Not a coincidence, there is Smurfs movie coming out this summer. My gosh, they're so happy. There's a whole lot of Papa Smurfs, though. I would think there should be an election, and there should only be one. Anyway, I don't want to... They're happy. If they're happy, I'm happy. Congratulations, Smurf Town. Who is it? That's one of my kids at the office door. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for tuning into What a Weird Week. Every Friday, we drop an episode with 10 weird or odd or fun stories from the news, and we wrap it up in 15 minutes. You can get all the show notes at shownotes.page. Catch you next week with more weird stuff. What a weird week.